talked a lot about the turnovers you forced, but the defense was actually, 4 of those came late in the game. The defense was playing well before that kind of flurry of turnovers. What's gone into the increased efficiency of the defense, yards per play, going way down these last 6 quarters?
Oh, yeah, I think we're tackling better. It's something that we always try to emphasize, and I think everybody emphasizes, but you need to see it. And from an execution standpoint, I think our guys have a better understanding of where they fit scheme-wise. They're playing together. The more reps they get with each other, the more experience they get with each other. So I think a lot of things are coming together on that side of the ball, or did come together on that side of the ball. So hopefully we can build upon that this week going into the Arizona game.
Are guys also playing more decisively, would you say?
Yeah, I think that comes with understanding, and not just kind of this is what I'm supposed to do in this play. Is that I've repped it so many times. You don't rep it until you do it right. You rep it until you can't do it wrong. So I think that's part of the experience over time that those guys are getting. So.
How do you think Elisha Gates and Jay Shaw played, particularly in the second half when Nate was out?
Nate was out for a little bit, and so it's good that we have a little bit of depth there, and both those guys played well in the Cal game. So it's good that we can develop some of that young talent. Obviously we felt like we had 2 really good corners, and Darnay and Nate, and now that we can continue to bring 2 other guys along, I think is just going to help us in the long run. So.
Does Nate have a chance to play this weekend?
We hope so.
We haven't seen Bolu the last couple of
days.
days.
Yeah, Bolu is out for the season. So that just doctors verified that I think yesterday afternoon. So Bolu is done for the year. And, it's unfortunate, great young man, but he's going to be able to play the rest of the year. So.
Is that a concussion too? Or?
Yeah. So he's out. The other guy who won't be out there is Marcus Moore. He's been suspended for violation of team standards. So he won't be with us right now.
For 1 game?
No, he's out indefinitely.
Oh, okay. Is there a chance he could come back this season?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Guys out with concussions in the middle of the season, is that a little bit unusual given there's still 6 games left in the season?
I don't ever think any injury is unusual. It's a sport where I think everybody deals with it, and it's just part of what happens. Sometimes they happen at one position, sometimes they happen on one side of the ball. I don't think there's a pattern, but it's just you just have to deal with it, and you just have to hope that you have guys behind them that can step up. You obviously miss them. They're all kids that have given everything to this program, but if they can't play for a medical reason, have been ruled out by our doctors, then we just got to make sure we can get the next guy ready. So.
In the Cal game, there was a lot more usage of 3 tight end sets than we'd seen in the first few games.
Well, we didn't have 3 tight ends for a while, so there's probably a reason if you do the math on that one. So.
Yeah. But with the usage of the 3 tight end sets against Cal, was that a mid-game adjustment, just thinking that you guys can run the ball?
No, that was part of the game plan. You don't make mid-game adjustments and say, hey, let's try this. That's it's something that we trained for and we prepared for going into that game, and that was just part of the game plan. So.
How do you think Drew Platt did coming in for Jordan Wilson after?
Drew did a nice job. He played about 10 snaps. He did a nice job when he was in there.
What do you think Odu has done since coming in for Jalen?
I think Odu has done a good job, but I don't think, again, he didn't come in for anybody. Odu has played a lot for us over the years. We rotate everybody. Again, the narrative of people getting caught up, and we've talked about it before, who starts? We have a rotation that plays, and we consider all of them starters. So, we've got a rotation of about 6 guys on the defensive line. We had a rotation of 4 guys at the outside linebacker spot. You'll see Bo Calvert and Lange and Lokenny come in for Tyree and Chris at inside linebacker. It's the same thing with Jay Shaw, and the same thing with Elisha Gates. Those guys have played a lot of football. So we've always had that mentality of rotating a lot of players. Part of it is if you do get an injury, it's like, oh my God, put him in the game. How's he going to do? I don't know. He's never played before. So those guys have all played a lot of football. So the one thing with Odo, I think he's transitioning from being a defensive lineman to a linebacker, playing up on his feet. But he did a really good job in coverage the other day. I know the sack shows up with the fumble, but I think he's getting better in all aspects. So we're really excited about his trajectory in terms of where he is.
Thanks.